The most coolest thing is there's a picture book of Wellsboro that covers the 1880 to 1920 and has a lot of pictures of the town from that period. And I think that's the coolest thing I found. Been listing stuff on eBay for about 20 years. It's what I enjoy doing, learning about collectibles and listing stuff. My wife and I do antiques. We have some booths down in Lewisburg, so we spend a lot of time together doing antiques. It's like the hunt, like finding something that you've never seen before, finding out how cool it is. Hardest thing is being able to resell something and not wanting to keep it. But part of the fun is seeing something that's really cool. It may not be necessarily something that we might want, but having the ability, and this is with my booth as well, having the ability to get hold of something and make it available to other people that might like it as well. That's the bottom line. And we've had some things sitting in our booth and it'll be there for 2.5 years, and then all of a sudden it's sold, and you're like, oh, well, finally the person that was looking for it came in.
So Harry came to us in December. He is retired. He owns an antique shop, so he's very familiar with a lot of our categories, such as our collectibles, our music, things of that nature. So he is a very strong asset to us here at Shop Goodwill. He loves music. He likes to change the music. He sings along. He has a good time. He's very friendly with everybody. He's got a good sense of humor, and we enjoy having him here.
What's the coolest thing you think he's listed so far?
A primitive wood bowl. Yes. He researched it, and the bowl went for over $100.
They're very sought after. I've had a few and sold a few, and when you go to auction and there's one there, they go incredibly high. Calling them primitive puts them pre-1900, and they're hand, carved, and it's really impossible to date it per se, but automatically that it's pre-1900, so you're looking at it. And from around here, it's something that people used, There's a much larger variety of things here, because when we shop for our store, we look for specific things. And I've found a lot of things or items that, are really cool. That's part of the reason I do it, finding things I've never seen before. Miniature bowls, and they're modeled after primitive bowls, like say Native American. And the reason it's still sitting here is I'm trying to over time figure out exactly what they are, a little bit more about them, but they're really cool. There's all sorts, and it's a challenge somewhat to put in the title that'll draw like to most people. We kind of group them together in the types, like round, oval, things like that, and then put half a dozen or so in a group, and then try and make the title so that like when somebody pulls it up, they'll pull up all of them and say, oh,
He has a lot of knowledge. He's familiar with listing. Owning his own antique shop, he's very familiar with shipping things out, what to list them for, how to research them. So I just thought it would be a perfect fit for us.
A lot of things I can easily identify because I've seen a lot of times. And like these, for instance, these are they're Pyrex, but they're specifically refrigerator bowls. This is what people use before Tupperware, and they're quite valuable as well. Especially if you have an entire set like this, that one, and then there's the big yellow one here. I'm getting ready to list a bunch of fishing flies. That's pretty neat. A lot of people don't realize, how desirable they are. So, oh, the most coolest thing is there's a picture book of Wellsboro that covers the 1880 to 1920 and has a lot of pictures of the town from that period. And I think that's the coolest thing I found. I found a job offering on Indeed, and it said part-time, and being retired, I spent a lot of time with my wife, and we enjoyed being together. And it was compatible with, the hours were compatible with my wife not wanting me to work, so it's a balance. There are a lot of things we like to do, cooking and everything, and if I was working a full 8-hour shift, it would not be possible. My wife's appreciative of the hours, but she still wants me home all the time. I don't know why. We're going to see my grandkids, and they live in San Antonio. 3 grandkids out there, so we're gonna go spend a good bit of time out there. It's a good place to work. It's good people, and the only tough thing I have is I spent 30 years working another job where I never punched a clock. So it took quite a bit of time for me to get used to, I gotta go punch a clock.